Right. Hello and welcome. So today you join me, and today we're going to be talking about the final major project, which is due for my coursework. Now, the project which I'm going to be doing today, which I'm going to be talking to you today about, is called Turbulent: The Giants at War. This is going to be a multimedia production motion picture, and I intend to use several variations of forms of media production to aid me in doing this. So, first of all, let's talk about the actual project itself. So, Turbulent: The Giants at War was not originally my first project, and it was originally just a backup project. So I had to come up with an idea because I couldn't do my other project. My original idea was to do a documentary on a model railway company based in Widnes, just outside Liverpool, and that was going to be called Inside Hatton's Model Railways. However, due to recent circumstances, as we all know, that idea has pretty much gone down the drain. So then I thought about producing a TV comedy, but again, circumstances did change the way I had to view that. So then I decided that, well, surely there must be stuff inside the house which I can use for a project. And then I got to thinking, well, why not use my models? As most of you may know, I'm heavily into my model railways, so I thought, why not use something with them to make a multimedia picture? And I thought, well, what do I have that I can use? So I began sifting through my collection, and I stumbled across the railguns which I own, as I own 4 of them, in fact. I own 2 British and 2 German. So I decided that if I was going to do something, I might as well do it on something that I enjoy. Now, what I've decided to do is, like I said, a multimedia motion picture film. So what does Turbulent include? Well, originally I thought about just making it a stop motion picture program, but I thought, why just limit myself to one form of media when I can incorporate other variations of media into one project? So obviously, stop motion is a form of videography, but I also plan to use moving image into the actual project itself. So I'm looking at doing sections of the production in stop motion, i.e., when the models are when the railguns are raising up the barrels and lowering them, and vice versa. But also, like, for when the guns would be positioned and moved into place, with me using electric trains, it's a bit more difficult to use stop motion, as I don't have as much control. So if I use real moving image and capture the motion of them propelling or shunting the guns into the onto the set, that is also how I can incorporate other videos in other forms of media into it. Also, I can incorporate stills and photography. So what I plan to do, once I have the sets built, as I'm going to build in 2 sets, the first will be on the British home front, and the second would be on the German home front, as I have British and German guns. They may just be the same for both time periods, as I plan to use World War I railguns and World War II railguns in this project as well. So I thought about this project, and I can also incorporate stills of the engine pushing the railgun, or the engine and the railgun onto the set, take a picture of that, and incorporate it into the video sequence. So also, I do intend to use a series of locomotives as well, which I have seen in archive footage propelling these railguns in wartime. So I have 3 out of the 4 locomotives of which I'm going to be using. I'm planning on getting the 4th locomotive ordered pretty much after this live stream. So I'm going to be finishing with them. And then what I also plan to do is I plan to make some After Effects, mainly to show like a barrel smoke effect coming from the railguns. Obviously, because they would, when they'd fired off a shell, they would recoil. So I want to get archive, or if I can, as damn near it, close enough sound effects for the railguns, and also get a gun barrel effect for the artillery shell being fired out and like the barrel beginning to smoke. This project is probably one of the most challenging projects I have had to do, period. This is mainly due to the fact that, for one, I haven't done stop motion in a while, and 2, I'm having to do a project under jurisdiction and regulation, as normally I would be in college now and I wouldn't have a problem with doing all of this. I would have access to a workshop, I would have access to equipment, I would have access to much faster computers than I would at home. But then again, I cannot control, and no one else cannot control, what is happening right now. So that is where we're up to. Set-wise, we do have a set partial built, which I will go and show you now. Please bear with me. So this is one of the sets. So as you can see, it is currently just a piece of board with some track attached to it, but this will make up one of the 2 sets. I am not sure as to which set it will make up at the moment. I am thinking to use this specific set for the German the German scene, as it wouldn't fit the British railguns, which is a problem I have encountered, which is why I'm going to be building them a new set. Yes, I'm going to be using this board, which you just saw, as the German set. So what I plan to do is I plan to remove the wooden panels from the side to enable filming, and then on the side where, if I just bring it back into shot, where you see there's just the just a plain wood here, this is going to be used for scenics. So what I intend to do is get another piece of board and make that as a back scene. And then what I intend to do is use the back scene on this board and build another board which will be similar but not identical to this layout, and it will be used for the British guns. Now, I have noticed with British guns that they did come out of tunnels. However, I do not know if I intend to build them coming out of a tunnel themselves, or if I'm going to have them just in the open countryside, as they would have been for firing. So that is one of the sets. Like I said, it is partially built, which it makes things a lot easier on me, to be honest. And obviously, I have materials at home which I can use for my modelling. I have vast amounts of clay, paint, mod rock. The only thing I need to do is order some scenics, which again, I can do that in a few minutes when I'm done with this live stream on this pitch, as I need to order another engine for the project. And that is really the that's pretty much my pitch. I would say if there's any questions, but I don't think there's anyone watching, is there? Who's watching? No one's watching. Right then. Well, in that case, thank you very much for listening to me. And hopefully we will be able to get back into college eventually. But in the meantime, I've got some sets to build. So thank you very much for listening. And this has been Nav of Nav Media Productions, signing off.